A lot can change in a matter of months. Young NBA players constantly improving, slowly creeping in the star conversation from being an unknown when they started. Although the Orlando Magic, a young and coming team, lost plenty of games and will be in the lottery, won't be bad for long. Having lots of promising youth and time on their side, in a couple years, Orlando will be contending in the postseason. The start of a strong foundation, the 6'9" Franz Wagner has made one of the biggest leaps of the season, putting up over 20 points a game. The starting forward, showing why he's one of the most promising future All-Stars in our game. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson, the former 8th pick of the 2021 draft class. After years of dysfunction for the first time since the Dwight Howard era, the Orlando Magic appeared to finally have a step in the right direction. The German native has one of the most unique games, excellent ball handling, strong attacker for his size, makes the right plays, fearless as the game continues to evolve, taller players adapting their guard skills, having the creative freedom to constantly make plays, figuring out how to punish teams. Wagner, one of the few examples in the open spacing era, a combination of Euro-style ball utilized by the most talented players. Wagner has no fear, the underrated passing in the half court, developing great chemistry with other young teammates, Wendell Carter, Markelle Fultz, Pablo, Bobo, a combination of perhaps being on the right team, allowing the second-year sensation to make plays, have the intelligence and mature instincts, uses his length to his advantage, a little more physical than he looks. Just imagine he puts another 15 pounds of muscle in a year or two, super adaptable, one of the deadly reliable weapons for the Magic going forward. With all the attention focused on the superstar big names, the potential most improved player candidates like Larry Markkanen and SGA deserves all the love in the world, but the silence of the second-year players deafening. The top 4 picks, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, and Scotty Barnes, not taking a crazy leap. In fact, some of these guys taking a step back. All super young still, Cunningham with season-ending surgery, Detroit simply in heavy tank contentions. Green's numbers increase, but not even talked about as the Rockets franchise star, since their best player right now, Alperen Sengun, getting more of the attention, looking more promising. Wagner also looking more polished and NBA ready than Evan Mobley, who hasn't taken the offensive leap on a very good team. Mobley, most would agree, has the better upside, a rotational guy, sometimes even the 4th option. Last season's Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes' early slump with nagging injuries on a team where multiple guys also trying to be stars to get the heavy money, trying to expand his game, disregarding the foundational skills that made him super effective, because none of these guys making the big leap and won't be anywhere close to All-Stars this season. Big reasons why the 2021 class getting ignored, but Franz Wagner cannot be ignored. Offensive game more polished than the top 4 picks right now. The step backs a thing of beauty, highly efficient as a driver, playing Euro ball last summer, also a huge step with Germany, 8 points, average 16 a game. Also surprisingly can play all 5 positions when necessary, taller than most of today's NBA 5s anyway. Given his progress, the more reps and experience for the team certainly possible. Jalen Suggs could be a trade piece down the line if he doesn't get it together. Outside of Pablo, Franz easily the second most important player on the Magic after finishing 5th for Rookie of the Year, by far making the biggest jump. Can you imagine if Golden State picked him over Kuminga? Sheesh. Franz has all the qualities to play for any team, can screen for shooters, also one of the best young cutters in the game. Can you imagine the amount of backdoor passes he can get from Draymond? His ability to adapt in a multitude of ways with 6'10 Paolo, 7'2 Bobo, 6'10 Wendell Carter, good young wing Cole Anthony, and a healthy Markelle Fultz, a finally healthy 6'10 Jonathan Isaac. In a few years, we could be looking at the Orlando Magic as the future of the NBA with lots of length and size. Franz's style of play literally can be a free safe for the Magic franchise for years. Whenever guys get hurt, his ability to adapt to different positions shall allow the team to stay afloat competitively, but it's a work in progress. After this season, everything appears to trend upwards for the franchise. An early bird prediction for the 2024 play-in hunt, just terrific ball IQ, the putback clutch basket versus the Raptors to go along with his 32 points, way ahead of his time, excellent awareness as a second-year player, his only shot that 4th quarter. Franz stayed ready, realizing when and how to contribute in the critical moments when other ball-dominant young players often get discouraged and put themselves out of the game if they don't get the ball. But Franz's willingness to do whatever he needs to win, the competitive nature with high IQ, not forcing shots up, the type of star who can contribute in any system, play with anybody, in any era, has a little bit of Manu Ginobili's Euro step to his game, the slash flashing footwork, an absolute thing of beauty. The handles and court vision of former Magic great Hedo Turkoglu and Gordon Hayward type athleticism, being 2 inches taller than Hayward. Those lethal combinations should make Franz a multiple-time All-Star. Another perfect example of getting tons of professional experience in Europe before dominating all the other college kids when he played at Michigan, already years ahead in sharing the ball, great off-ball movements, and taught well on defense, unlike the highlight showboat culture of AAU. Franz even more comfortable. Unlike other past European players, Wagner doesn't shine away from contact, good enough to avoid guys with the change of pace. It's an absolute travesty. The Magic get fewer than 5 national TV games all season. The fact that other likable players like Austin Reeves on the Lakers, who gets way more talked about and attention from the casual fans over Franz, an absolute travesty. But in a couple months, that's not gonna happen, to say the least. This season, in the top 75 percentile as a pick and roll ball handler, top 75 percentile as a cutter too, in the 70-ish percentile in transition, proving time and time again he's legit. Wagner's game will only gather plenty of attention towards the latter part of this season. His last 19 games, averages of 22.4 points, over 3 and 3, 50% shooting, over 42 from deep on over 5 attempts, shows how polished the 6'9 German has become. Can also spot up from deep, catch and shoot. More games this season, 25 total, shooting 50% or above, and 20 games just under that mark. Only scored single digits twice, remarkable for a second-year player. While guys like Kay and Jalen Green extremely streaky and inconsistent, Wagner, the biggest reason why Orlando won't be one of the worst 4 teams in the league, has the least flaws in his games out of any rookie. While the top 4 picks each all have obvious flaws, the only player from the class looking like they'll have more upside is Evan Mobley, whose usage rate not high, being on an excellent Cavs team. At times he can score 6 points and his team totally dominates. And Mobley has yet to proven to space the floor, a bad free throw shooter, although he's very capable of going off, had a 38-point dominant performance with Donovan Mitchell out, annihilated Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis. Evan way higher ceiling defensively, that's not a question, but Franz as of right now, the more complete two-way player, a plus defender as well. The fact that Franz also picked in the 2021 class, and Jonathan Isaac, 4 years drafted before Franz, already has more points than Isaac by nearly 900, and around 400 more points than 2017 first pick Markelle Fultz. Of any of the second-year players, if you need a guy to dominate and take over a game, put the ball on the floor, get crucial buckets, the answer most going with simply the former 8 pick, without a doubt, over the streaky, unpredictable Jalen Green or K. Not to say that they won't be fantastic players. Franz is clearly the more polished NBA player today. He would honestly be easily the second best player on a team like Dallas. Perhaps after a rough ending with a terrible 1 of 10 shooting game, 4 points versus UCLA in the tournament, draw Franz to the Magic. Perhaps his best quality that stands out, his patience, never rushes, waits for favorable situations, late switches before doing his damage, the footwork and soft touch around the rim. Some of the qualities great players have that you simply can't teach, plus the 7-foot wingspan with great height makes up for not being the most athletic leaper or being the fastest, from being compared to Bielitsa in the mock draft, already way better than that, and somebody who can do a little bit of everything but not one thing great, and looked upon as a good role player at best. Franz right now clearly playing the best basketball out of anybody in his draft class over the last 3 months, proved many people wrong, making the most of his opportunities to get a stronger feel for his game on a rebuilding franchise in the feeling out process. If teammate Jalen Suggs or Markelle Fultz don't take their games to the next level by 2025, Franz seems to be more than capable running the spot at point forward, just like how Hedo Turkoglu did it for the 09 finals team. The team finally appears to have all their guys healthy and get ready to build more chemistry. The last 30 or so games of the season ranked in the top 10 amongst fourth quarter points this season. One team that should be ripping their hair out if they have any left, the Chicago Bulls, looking like their best basketball might have already passed with their so-called big three, got rid of Wendell Carter and a 2021 first involved, and the pick that turns out to be Franz. Wendell now arguably just just as good as Vucevic, and Franz clearly better than Vucevic now, could be the biggest blessing in disguise for the Magic franchise, a team relying so much for years in trying to turn Evan Fournier into their savior, but Franz without question already better and more rounded than Fournier ever was, perhaps the best closer on the team since Hedo Turkoglu in his prime. Franz's ability and talent already making diehard Magic fans forget about the peak Terrence Ross days as the team's tank commander. Once Ross no longer part of the team, Franz, Paolo, and the rest of the young core should have one of the NBA's brightest futures for the next decade. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your thoughts on Franz and the Magic team going forward. If there was a 2021 redraft, how much higher would the 6'9" forward from Germany go? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.